guys, it's April. Just a little while ago, I finished this book right here, and now I have some words that you get to listen to because you made the mistake of clicking on this video. As you can tell, this is going to be a book review, and I will handle this review the same way I handle all of my other reviews, with the non-spoil section first, and then it will digress into the muddle that is my thoughts when I do things in life, and mostly reading. As you can tell, this is going to be a very articulate book review, but don't let that stop you because this book is simply amazing. It is. I picked up The Thrilling Adventures of Lovelace and Babbage, the mostly true story of the first computer by Sydney Padua, pretty much just a week ago, and now this is my life. I started this out as a library book and decided that it was worth just laying down some cash and getting it in my hands so I can cuddle it whenever I so darn please. If that isn't an endorsement of this book, I don't know what other words I need to say to you right now. This is the story, of course, of Lovelace and Babbage, who could be thought of as some of the first programmers and computer creators if things had actually worked out. Babbage had been working on the analytical engine, which could have been the first computer but never really completed it, and Lovelace was the programmer of this non-existent machine, so some of us, like me, like to think of Lovelace as one of the first programmers, because I think that would be epically awesome. Now this is a graphic novel, and it's a beautifully, beautifully illustrated graphic novel. It makes me so happy. That takes Lovelace and Babbage and places them into a pocket universe where the analytical engine actually becomes a thing. Lovelace doesn't die young, and Babbage is still Babbage. This book is so snarky and so witty and just littered with engineering and programming and mathematical nonsense that I can't help but smile when I read this book. There is so much history woven within this story, and you can tell that the author actually did her research when she was doing this. She puts all of these footnotes inside of the story that explains why certain dialogue happens, why certain machines are the way they are, and how these different stories come into play, how it can take an historical event and then throw Lovelace and Babbage into it in a way that just makes sense. Even though it's not technically possible, it still makes sense. I enjoyed this read so much, and I think it is the computer scientist in me and then the just fact gatherer in me that really, really, really like this book. I didn't expect it to be as dense as it was, but I'm really glad it was. This is over 300 pages, and it's not something that I recommend you plow through fairly quickly because there's so many different nuances of things that you can pick up, and the footnotes are absolutely hilarious. I love the writing style of this story. It's not just the illustrations, it's not the graphical elements of this book that necessarily make it. It's the footnotes, the dialogue, the historical elements at the end. It comes together and creates this package that makes me so happy that I found it. Now, I will warn you that if you aren't necessarily of the historical or scientific computer engineering kind of mindset, some of this can feel a little heavy, especially since this is set in the 1830-ish era. So the dialogue can be a little interesting as well because she stays true to the way people used to speak, because she did her research. Like I said, she read notes that Babbage and Lovelace passed back and forth. She read a lot of their printed material and then made them. She filled them out in their characters that you want to get to know, even though you know they're just gonna make your life a mess because of the logic that they think. Oh, they can create a mess rather quickly. And it's just these little character developments that really make the story. And I highly recommend that anyone who has any kind of interest in learning about, I don't want to say programming or building computers, but I do, because there's a lot of that in here and I liked it. This one right here was probably my favorite one just because it spoke to me on so many different levels. Since I've been user experience myself, it deals with the beta concept and everything like that, as if it was all plopped into the 1830s. Oh, the nonsense that happens in this book. So if you just like steampunk, or you like computer science, or you like engineering of any kind, or mathematics, pick up this book. You need to pick it up. You do. Sarcasm, the wit, the humor, everything is great. I loved it. So that was the non-spoiled section of this book. I will now go into my thoughts on what I felt. Some of it may contain spoilers, some of it may not. If you would like to run the risk of doing that, then stay put. If not, I will see you when you pick up this book, because you need to pick up this book. Do it. So I don't know how much more I have to say about this book besides the fact that it is pretty much my soul in graphic novel. I love how the characters of Ada and Babbage were built. You can feel how these could be their real personalities just because of all of the research that she notes and the letters that she provides and the sarcastic wit that is throughout all of it, I think, is what really, really sold me on it. I love the concept of steampunk and what the world could be like if steam actually became the primary source of driving things. And then the laws that she develops in this pocket universe to make this machine a thing. How the analytical engine would eventually just take over the whole globe because storage and memory and everything would just double every 18 months. There's just so much thought put into this story that I didn't expect, that drives me to want more from her. It's just amazing. This is something that I would give to a mentee who's thinking about going into any kind of math, science, or engineering, just to give that this could be you. You could be going on these kind of crazy adventures if you just allow yourself to. I think that right there. I don't know. I don't know what else to say about this wonderful graphic novel. It is beautiful in its own right. I think more people need to read it. It has to be a thing. So this is me getting it out into the universe. So with that, I leave you with my words that happened about this. I don't know how else to end this, so I heart your beautiful faces. Bye.